Marcus Rashford's brother and agent have travelled to Italy to hold talks with AC Milan's executives. It's understood Milan want to sign him on loan with an option to buy. I mean, Dan, obviously Milan seem to be the club that are most vocal about their interest in Marcus Rashford, but they're not the only club after him, are they?
Yeah, it feels like Marcus Rashford could be the name of the window so far, couldn't it? I feel like we'll be talking about him quite a lot in this window, but AC Milan seem to be the ones who are making that contact with his agent, as you mentioned there, Dwayne. But in terms of other clubs who are also interested in Marcus Rashford, we're looking at, first of all, the Champions League finalists of last year, Borussia Dortmund, and then also Serie A giants Juventus. Two very interesting other teams, and we can talk about AC Milan in a second. But when you look at Juventus, for example, Thiago Motta is their manager. Very young team, an average age of 24 years old. How would Marcus Rashford fit into a team that's quite young, developing? Borussia Dortmund, of course, finalists last year. We saw Jadon Sancho go on loan there last year, had quite a profitable year. It was also good for United in keeping his market value as well. But AC Milan look now like they're the ones really making an effort to get him on loan with a potential option to buy as well.
Sam, is Milan a good fit for Marcus Rashford?
I think in terms of the pathway, it's worked for them in the last few seasons. We've seen Loftus-Cheek, Tomori go out there as well. And Serie A in general has been good for players that haven't really found their feet in the Premier League, with Lookman now African Player of the Year. We've seen Tammy Abraham, who's now at AC Milan as well. I think it will just be a good move for him, a place where he can find his confidence. The only thing I would say is that their most exciting player is a player that plays in his position. That's Rafael Leao. He's played 23 times this season. He's been in and out of the team in terms of playing consistently. He's only got 6 goals this season, but his last performance against Inter Milan in the Super Cup was incredible. So I think it will add to the competition for AC Milan. They're still 8th at the moment. They're probably going to be wanting to play Champions League football, and that would be a good challenge for him.
I think with the side of AC Milan as well, Sergio Conceição's come in. Quite liked a 4-4-2 at Porto. We saw Marcus Rashford have his best season under Eric Ten Hag, at times playing as a centre-forward, scored 13 of those 30 goals in that centre-forward position. So that could be an area of the team where he actually comes in, Leao plays on the left, Rashford maybe as that left striker in a 4-4-2, and that might work.
Less pressure on him, Dave, as well. I feel like there's so much pressure on him at Manchester United, but there'll be less pressure and maybe that will see him thrive again.
Absolutely, and Lookman's a great example of that. Lookman was a player that was bouncing around the leagues, spelled at Leipzig in Germany, played for a number of clubs in the Premier League, but I tell you what, he's probably the best player on the planet right now, Lookman for me. Unbelievable in the Europa League final, that hat-trick was so good, left foot, right foot, the finish on the back post, and I think you look at someone like Marcus Rashford, a similar kind of profile to Lookman in the sense of he's probably more of an inside forward. He's a player you want to get near the box, not out wide as we saw him under Eric Ten Hag. So with Milan, with Conceição, whether he plays 4-3-3 or goes to this 4-4-2, I think it will really work.
I know you're on your day, but did you just say that Ademola Lookman's the best player on the planet right now?
Ademola Lookman right now
on your debut, you've made a very big shout.
Look, we've got to respect the guys in Serie A. Gasperini's Atalanta were sitting top of Serie A for a long time, but I just think you look at what he's done in the last year. He's so devastating, and he's really become that player that's in his prime right now. So I'm going to stick by it. Lookman, best player in the world right now.
He's up there for sure.
I reckon Mo Salah might be making another tweet on you, Statman Dave.
What is happening with Marcus Rashford? Do you get the feeling, Michael, this could be one of those transfers that rumbles on for most of the summer?
Very possibly. Now with Aston Villa not being in the Champions League, it looks highly unlikely he'd go back there. I think for me, looking at Marcus Rashford, what he needs to do is probably just have a really good pre-season with Manchester United. United are going to improve in the league. They're not going to have European football. Ruben Amorim is going to want to change the squad completely. Whether he gets the opportunity to, we'll wait and see. But surely, Mark, he just has to go away on pre-season and impress.
I think, he'll also turn around and say, well, look at my volume of work at Aston Villa. I've just had a really successful end to the season. I've proved that I can still play amongst the best players and teams in the Premier League. My numbers were solid. I was starting a lot of games. Only Aston Villa will know why they didn't action the 40 million option to purchase Marcus Rashford. The biggest problem that he has, and the problem that a number of players have in the Premier League, is he's on big wages. So therefore, it makes it difficult for another side to buy him because there has to be some kind of agreement on his wages. Manchester United obviously don't see him as a part of the future at the club, so therefore looking to try and sell him and will maximise what they get because it's 100% offsettable for PSR. That's why it suits them. And it'd be interesting to see. We know that Barcelona like him, But he is one of many players, Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling, that are all on big, big money, and it makes it more difficult for them to get that move, particularly early in the window. But the price for Marcus Rashford right now will be X plus this in wages, but in 6 weeks' time, it will change. And if you get towards the end of August, it'll be a very different deal from the one that exists now. And he might be one of those players that we're talking about right at the end of the window, possibly for a loan move.
Now, Premier League champions Arsenal have added to their squad. They've completed the signing of the Greece winger Christos Solis from Club Bruges for £34 million. He's joined Arsenal as a direct replacement for Leandro Trossard, who joined Besiktas in this window. The winger has signed a 5-year contract at the Emirates, and the fee is understood to be a record for the Belgian Pro League. Well, let's have a look at what Solis will provide for Arsenal. In 108 games for Club Bruges, he's had 88 goal involvements. He was especially prolific last season with 17 goals and 23 assists. Mikel Arteta will be hoping he replicates that kind of form for them next season. Well, Arsenal could be about to make another move as well. We understand they've been exploring the cost of a potential deal for the Aston Villa defender Ezri Konsa. Mikel Arteta's side looking to sign a centre-back following the news of William Saliba's extended absence through injury. Arsenal are interested in Konsa, as they are with John Stones, who of course is a free agent. Konsa has 2 years left on his contract at Villa, but we at Sky Sports News understand there's a significant gap in valuation between the clubs.
It's serious enough that Arsenal are looking to sign a centre-back in this transfer window. John Stones, a free agent who's worked under Mikel Arteta at Manchester City, and Ezri Konsa are 2 players of interest. Now, John Stones would be an easier deal to do because he's a free agent, but other clubs interested, the likes of Chelsea, there's clubs in Italy that want to sign John Stones as well. Really did excel during the World Cup, reminded everybody that he still has a role to play at the top level of club football. When it comes to Ezri Konsa, we understand that Arsenal have reached out to see what a deal would look like, and it appears there's a significant gap between what Arsenal are willing to pay and what Aston Villa value Ezri Konsa. So those are 2 players, 2 England internationals that Arsenal are looking at. So we wait to see what the exact timescale is for William Saliba to be out for, but I think you can determine, bearing in mind Arsenal really have a number of great centre-backs and full-back options already. They probably fear Saliba is missing for some time, and that's why they want to bolster their ranks by signing what looks like an England international.
Manchester City have confirmed the signing of Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest in a deal worth £116 million. The midfielder had a medical whilst on international duty with England at the World Cup, and both clubs had previously announced the transfer agreement. Well, in his first interview with City's club media, Anderson spoke about how he's looking forward to playing under Enzo Maresca and also looking forward to that Manchester derby. Well, the move means Anderson has become the second most expensive British player of all time. He's just £1 million behind Morgan Rogers, who of course joined Chelsea this week. Well, Anderson will be playing under Enzo Maresca, who's taken over from Pep Guardiola now. Maresca will speak to the media for the first time as City boss tomorrow and may address the 115 Premier League charges facing the club. City deny any wrongdoing.
Pep Guardiola has become, or had become, the public face of the charges that have been levelled against Manchester City by the Premier League. First, when they were announced, all the way back now in February 2023. So more than 3 years ago, Pep obviously faced plenty of questions. And what Pep did very, very well was he was obviously an intelligent man, but he was happy to answer questions. He spoke publicly. We don't really hear from anyone else at the club about the charges. Pep became that voice, and he did it very, very well, certainly from a club perspective. Now, as far as our understanding is the investigations and the hearings finished in December 2024. And ever since, we've been waiting for a ruling. Well, we're still in that holding pattern. We're still waiting. So for Enzo Maresca, he essentially has to inherit the position that Pep did as the public-facing person from Manchester City on the football side. He's the one who has to sit down with us in the media week in, week out. So yes, I'd imagine there will be talk around that tomorrow, and it'll be really interesting to see whether, like Pep, he embraces it, he talks about the club, he talks in defence of the club, or whether he bats it away and said, that's not for me to answer. I mean, I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
Well, elsewhere, Leeds are in talks with Manchester City over James Trafford. The England international is their primary goalkeeping target. Well, Villa also have an interest in the player, who joined City from Burnley last summer. Leeds are prioritising the signing of a keeper after Carl Darlow's exit. Trafford made 17 appearances in all competitions last season and has 4 years left on his contract. To City now, there's an early injury worry for the incoming boss Enzo Maresca. We understand Rodri is due to undergo minor surgery in the coming days to cure a back problem. He, of course, captained Spain to their second World Cup triumph last weekend and wasn't expected to be involved in the Community Shield. But the surgery means he's now a doubt for their Premier League opener weekend.
He was absolutely imperious at the heart of that Spain midfield, and it was a Rodri that we haven't seen necessarily be so consistently fit and have such a consistent impact on games. I mean, for example, the way he controlled that semi-final against France was absolutely vintage Rodri, and that would have got the City fans excited. But he is going to have this surgery, which means that he, even with his break and the surgery, he must be a doubt, you would say, for the start of the Premier League season when City take on their first Premier League game. That he basically 31 days' time. I mean, that's how close we are. I guess we'll find out more from Enzo Maresca when he speaks to the media tomorrow for the first time as Manchester City manager, which will be exciting. That'll be one of the key questions, I think, not only on Rodri's fitness, but also his future. Now, there have been reports linking him away this summer. Rodri's been quite clear. He said nothing public apart from he's going to decide his future now the World Cup is done, because Manchester City know he's entering the final year of his Manchester City contract as things stand. They would dearly love him to sign an extension, but for now we don't know whether Rodri is going to do that or try and explore his options either this summer or next.
To spend that sort of money on a player who they believe has a huge potential, as well as being the real deal already. It was going to be a British transfer record, that £116 million figure, but Chelsea have trumped that when they signed Morgan Rogers earlier this week for £117 million. Anderson has signed a 5-year contract. The reason why there's not so much celebration and emotion around this transfer today is because we've known about it for a long period of time, and City communicated to it a few weeks ago that they had reached an agreement with Forest to sign him for £116 million. He completed his medical a few weeks ago whilst on international duty, but today we have the official unveiling. City wanted to get the deal done during the World Cup, but also let Anderson and England focus on what they wanted to do and needed to do in North America. But now the World Cup has been wrapped up. They have wrapped up this deal today as well. Anderson has chosen Manchester City over a number of other clubs, including Manchester United. Forest were happy to sell to either club or whoever wanted to pay that sort of money, but it's City who have paid the money as the player who wanted Manchester City.
All right, here's a look at the notable Premier League transfers that we have seen confirmed over the last couple of weeks. Remember, despite the World Cup, the summer transfer window is very much open. Of course, it has been led by Morgan Rogers' transfer from Aston Villa to Chelsea. It was confirmed yesterday for a British record of £117 million. Craig, good business?
I mean, him and Elliot Anderson, and they're good players, but
17's a bit steep.
Yeah.
Also by Chelsea, who...
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of dosh in it. I mean, Rodgers is a big, strong boy. He'll get you goals.